Hi, this is eebtarot, two E's and a B tarot. I'll be reading for, excuse me, I'll be reading for the sign of Aquarius, and this is a timeless reading. I've already pre-shuffled the deck. I've also just posted Capricorn's video if you are interested. So what came out, Aquarius, is the Page of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Six of Wands, and at the bottom of the deck is the King of Cups, and underneath that is the Eight of Cups and the Hermit. The Eight of Cups and the Hermit came out for Capricorn too. So again, you guys may have Earth somewhere else in your chart. Maybe you have a Capricorn bestie or something. I don't know. Or maybe something's happening for you in Capricorn season. But I digress, Aquarius. So, Page of Swords. You are definitely in communication with something new on the table. Now, whether this is new talks with an old person or new talks with a new person, or this could just be some immature communication that is taking place. With the Queen of Wands and the Six of Wands and the King of Cups, it feels like this is communication with someone and everything is just vibing. Everything is aligning. Aquarius, you might be in a situation where you are like cougar to cub. Is it cub? Cougar to cub and sugar daddy to sugar baby, except it's not driven, it's not a money thing. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking in terms of the age difference, possibly. You know what I mean? Not one is actually taking care of the other one in that sense. It's just, it feels like both parties respectively have their own vibrato, you know what I'm saying? They're good, right? Again, with the Queen of Wands and King of Cups, I feel like it's everybody got their own vibe, right? But sorry. Anyway, I feel like it feels good to you though, Aquarius. It's exciting, it's refreshing. It feels good. And it feels like it's coming off the heels of like maybe a lot of back and forth, or people in your business or giving their opinions when you don't really give a shit. Like you ever have somebody give you, like, go hard for unsolicited advice? Like, not that your advice isn't good advice, it's just you're going really hard for something I never inquired about. Like it never presented as I needed you to tell me that. You know? I think you both look really good to each other. I think you feel desired by them and they equally feel desired by you. And I feel like the physical I feel like you guys show it. It's not like, oh, I wonder do they know how much I'm really into them. It's like, no, y'all both know it, y'all both feel it, and y'all both act on it a lot. And it's good, you know? Love that for you. There may be, because the King of Wands or the King of Cups was at the bottom of the deck, right? The Queen of Wands actually did come out. So there may be something to this dynamic where the feminine energy, again, male or female, but whoever identifies as the feminine in this dynamic, may be the one that's the older one, right? And then the one that identifies with the masculine energy is the one that's younger. But what else, Aquarius? There also might be a situation where involving this dynamic where somebody's communication is a little sharper. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more harsh or direct. Even if it's not harsh, just like straightforward. And the other is a little more, they take the scenic route, so to speak. Or maybe things aren't as, I don't know. They're more, I may not say it, or I may not look like I'm thinking it, but I watch my actions. You know what I'm saying? That's when you'll see it, you know? Maybe somebody is like, okay with saying I love you, and the other is like, well, I don't really have to say it. I'm doing it by showing you, you know? And look, the King of Cups is like, no, I'm going to come back out. And my body kind of jumped when it came out. I don't know why, but let me get some more on the King of Cups, Queen of Cups. What else? What's the takeaway from the Queen of Wands to the King of Cups for Aquarius? Too many. A whole. I'm going to just put it back in so it can come out in a calmer way. You guys also, when you're in the room with each other, even if you're not next to each other, you find yourselves kind of like looking for each other in the room, giving each other like that. What do you call those? It's called a low jack. Whatever that is, where you like, you know their location. Like you're pinged to each other. You have the Ace of Pentacles in the upright, and the Seven of Pentacles came in the reverse. So what's like the takeaway from the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups? This is interesting. It may be a situation where I think that, so when I put it down, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles ended up being over the Six of Wands. It wasn't intentional, but I feel like it was to kind of guide me in a sense that the Six of Wands is that good, feel-good feeling of the connection, right? That successful alchemization. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be making up words, but just go with it. That, you know what I'm saying? The mix that you guys have made it through certain little stages of the interaction and the investment where you're really locked in, right? That's that feel good. I said, like, if you guys are active with each other, you're very active with each other. You're really into it, right? And this may be a situation where others are looking at this like it's reckless, or it's ill-advised, or it will not yield you a return that's valuable or worthwhile. And with the Ace of Pentacles and the upright, it feels like this is something where the opportunity feels worthwhile for you. It may not make sense to others who feel like, okay, I see how it's fun, but is it valuable? Does it present longevity? And you feel that it does, but it may not be perceived that way with others. Or flip if it fits, you know what I mean? Like maybe they see the value and you're having a hard time really like swallowing or receiving it as well. Something is, you know. What's the Six of Wands? A card came out, and I'll turn it over. But Six of Wands. You know what it struck me because it came upside or turned over, so I don't know what it is yet. But like somebody who you hanging out with them and they just throw like a mental bomb that's like gonna detonate later. You know what I mean? Like they that slick shade where it's, you know. So Queen of Cups, interesting. So the Queen of Cups came out. How did I flip this? I'm wanting to say it was in the upright. I don't think that it was. Interesting. The Chariot's at the bottom of the deck. The Two of Wands also came out. Again, this is the start of something, right? So Two of Wands and the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Wands and the King of Cups was out initially, right? But now the Queen of Cups, I think there's a point where you're trying to calibrate, Aquarius. I'm going to put you as the main focus because it's your reading. So, but switch it if it needs to. But I think there was opposites attract, because even though they're opposites, the energy and the vibe was right in each respective space, right? So the opposites attract, but in the process of this, I think the person who was more, this is how I show it, even if I don't say, like the way that I express it is by showing it this way, even if I don't necessarily speak it, right? I think that person is starting to align and match the energy of the King of Cups, right? There's a merging. You know how you say you start to like pick up the expressions of the person you're with and you start to say little things like them? I feel like that's the case here. And this is at the beginning stages of the journey, and you don't necessarily know how it will grow or how it will go, but you have taken the steps and the risk, or I don't know, you've decided to just go with it and hope that whatever return is what's returned back to you will be what you invested in it and more. Or it currently is now, and you're just needing to continue to live and receive and feel good in that, right? Because Aquarius says you guys can't pour from an empty cup. And it's important that you're willing to pour into someone else's cup, but you need to feel like there is a resourceability, like a sustainability within your own. Because the Queen of Cups is willing to do this, but not frivolously, not without considering the fact that, okay, also, Aquarius, maybe there was a point in time where you're like, you know what? I don't know where this is going. I don't know if it's going to be relevant or grow from anything. So I'm vibing with them. I'm rocking with them, but I am also not simple-minded. Like, I bought a lid for my cup. I know we might be going off-roading a little bit. You know, he, she, they like to do, take me on these little adventures. And so I got to make sure I got my Stanley and my top is secure, and I'm not, I don't know, just it could be anything. But I got, but the Queen of Cups keeps the lid on there, not so that she can't pour it out, but it's selective. It's not just going to go splashing everywhere, right? Because you ain't about that wastefulness, especially when it comes to you and your resources. They also view you as very nurturing, loving, caring, and whichever roles it is, again, if I'm speaking to an Aquarius where it's the feminine or the masculine that they're listening for, or if it's a cross watcher, they see you as somebody who is either a very good parent with your own children, or they would see you as a positive addition with their children. Yeah. The Chariot, like I said, was at the bottom of the deck. That's leaving all this crap behind, which is underneath that, the Five of Pentacles. And underneath that, the Lovers. Oh, see? Did I say something about the Five of Wands earlier? I don't know if I did, but I saw it. Anyway, but you're leaving that lack mentality behind. And you're focusing on what feels good with you in this space. This fun, exciting, reciprocal space. And the Chariot is after a long journey of not really meeting the things, not getting met where you deserve to be met at. And now you are, and it feels good. And yeah. Good for you, Aquarius. And if you weren't feeling well, or you seemed to you could also have a Cancer child, by the way, with the Page of Swords. That's children, and the Chariot, for some reason, well, not for some reason, but that connected in my brain that you all could have a Cancer child somewhere in the mix. But the Chariot is, after a lot of nonsense, you are in a space now where you understand your value. So you know when something is generic and you don't allow that to be passed off as authentic, you know? Oh, that's what I'm saying. If some of y'all weren't feeling your best for whatever reason, that's definitely turning around in your favor, and that's a beautiful thing. I think that this is also contributing to that. It's not the only thing, because you did a lot to get yourself in this place of healing, but in terms of your physical body or your emotional state, the healing is like you've completed the hardest part of the healing process. Not that there's not ways to go in terms of full completion or full extraction, but it's well on its way, and you've covered more ground than you have left to go. All right. This is your reading, Aquarius. If it resonates, let me know in the comment section. Until next time, be well, be blessed. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. Thank you.